So I'm here at Stater Brothers, and because I just moved in, I have to re-up on almost everything, like condiments, Himalayan pink salt, and all this great stuff, right? But one thing that I find really challenging is that they make it almost nearly impossible to eat healthy if you guys start paying attention to the nutritional label. And since my daughter's staying with me now, she's 18, she's very hard to please. And now I'm one of those parents that I'm just trying to like make life a little bit more comfy for her.
Aww.
But yeah, everything here is either gonna be bad and taste really good, or really healthy and not taste good at all and be a lot more expensive, which is interesting. So look at my cart right here. It's full of contradiction, all right? So this is gonna be for my protein shakes. I went with pastured raised chickens, not the cage-free, because if they're cage-free, they're roaming around everywhere just eating random things that are probably not good for the chicken. My daughter, she likes going to the gym, so I got her some of these. These are not good for her, but she'll be happy to see them, so I'll spike that emotional effect right there. So now they're back with sriracha sauces, yo. So I'm back, sriracha sauce is back. I'm going with the zero sugar yogurts, and I'm going with this specific type of butter here. And like I said, it's full of mixed items, and that's because it's difficult to live a lifestyle where it's all about health. And so I guess you can counter some of the unhealthy stuff with the gym. So this is part of my morning right now. As soon as I wrap it up here, I'm gonna get home, unload, put everything away, and get ready for my Zoom calls today. All right, so for this part of my day, I find it pretty interesting because it allows me to step into a different role. So I'm gonna be taking on Zoom calls, doing one-on-one Zoom calls with folks that are starting a photo booth rental business and have questions that really, it's so interesting. Like every Zoom call is unique in its own way. Sometimes I'll have photo booth business owners that are just looking to better the SEO for their business, to get more leads that will generate more bookings. Sometimes I have individuals that are barely getting started that want to go over their essentials. They're on a tighter budget, so they're wondering, what things can I get if I only have $2,000 right now? Like, I want to make sure that I have everything that I truly really need, right? So we'll go over that list. It can be something like you're having software issues, right? How to set up an event, and I'll take you by the hand and do that for you. Everyone has a unique set of challenges during their photo booth journey. So this is the reason why I have Zoom calls, so that I can tap into my experience and provide folks with as much information as possible. So a lot of these people that book one-on-ones with me, they're really paying for accelerated learning. You don't have to wait for my reply on YouTube, just because you guys already know I stay crazy busy. Now, being crazy busy doesn't mean I'm rich, but I am trying to find a more efficient way to continuously run the business, but to continuously be a person that can still have one-on-one meetings for some of these individuals who are driven, ambitious, and just want the best for their business. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now, guys. I'm gonna jump on these Zoom calls. I have accumulated Zoom calls. I wasn't able to take Zoom calls during the moving transition, so today is all about Zoom calls. Let's go. It's like a little video icon. That's gonna allow you to activate your camera. Rudy. What's up, Rudy?
How you doing, sir?
So now you are at a point where you realize these overlays, even though it's quite simple, it's taking a good amount of my time going back.
Yeah, it is.
It's about building the infrastructure first and building it quickly so that you can also start hiring people right away. A lot of folks, what happens, Rudy, is they get started with their girlfriend or their spouse, and they just move forward in that direction because it works for them, but it's only limited to 2 people, which means that businesses can only make so much money, Rudy. And also, if they decide to sell the business after a year, then whoever's going to buy the business is buying some of the clientele that's already built in, right?
Oh, yeah.
Buying the equipment, but they're not buying you and your wife, the operators of the business.
Yeah.
So you want to start setting up your business to a point where it almost runs on its own, and then you just staff it. And you're going to say, you know what? From now on, when I'm out and about at a venue, at a restaurant, when I see talent, I'm going to ask them, hey, how would you like to be part of a fun business where you get compensated to have a good time?
Yeah.
And you start finding talent, and all of a sudden they're doing the things that you would be doing, which is running around with the camera, getting photos and videos in different formats. And some of your profit is going to them, but overall your business is making more money because that has freed you up to do other things for the business that's going to bring in a lot more money. You continue to be the visionary.
We bought our equipment with Jeremy.
Okay.
Yes, our 360, and we bought one digital photo booth and one DSLR photo booth.
Okay. Really good news. So your Google profile can actually rank and bring in a lot of leads, even though you don't have a website. So yeah, so breathe easy, because if, for example, you spend a little time on making your Instagram beautiful and having the SEO down correctly, you can link your Instagram to your Google profile and you can rank just with those two. Okay. So that'll get you going right away. However, you do want to spend some time on your website because you also want your website to do a lot of the work for you, like the payment process part of it.
Yes,
that's one of the questions.
All right, Zoom calls. Zoom calls was a success. Some great questions. Now this next part is I'm gonna be reaching out to a couple of clients. Sometimes we have issues with the invoices and clients say, for example, like, hey, I need this specific invoice. Can you resend me this invoice, right? Because they have their purchasing department and their accounting and everything needs to be squared away. So I'm gonna be diving into that. That's more of the administrative work, and that's one element of the business that I'm really trying to pass on to another individual. But me, to be quite frank with you, I'm a little, skeptical, because then I have to pretty much give them access to my finances, right? To the profit, to the numbers of the business. So you wanna make sure you find someone that you can trust, and most likely I'll definitely be hiring a bookkeeper from a professional background so that I can focus on other things. But because this doesn't take too much of my time, I still haven't really made an effort to find a bookkeeper for this process. Now, one of the first things that you guys are probably gonna say, like, I can do without this, is the part of the photo booth business where the overlay creation takes place. So for the overlays, you guys are gonna take anywhere from 10 to maybe a full hour. But the reason I say full hour, it sounds exaggerated, is keep in mind you're going back and forth with the client, making revisions and adjustments to their overlay so that you can bring their thought into life, into an actual design they can actually see, whether it's a photo booth session they're happy for, or if it's for a 360 video overlay. I tried different people. Right now I'm working with a creative named Diana. She does all the overlays for me on both the 360, and she also does it for my entire business, basically. So that has freed me up. I'm spending probably more or less, and I'm just gonna tell you guys how much I'm spending. I'm spending $15 for overlay, close to like $150 a month on overlays, just because I have one individual doing all the overlays for me. How much do I pay her? I started off at $10 and then we negotiated $15. So now I'm paying her $15. And the reason we negotiated is because one, she's pretty good. She has a YouTube channel, so she's experienced with these overlays. I try to get her to stay at $10 an overlay, but I understand that I'm paying for speed, I'm paying for professionalism, and I'm paying for experience. Now, one thing I like about Diana is that she reaches out to my client and then she goes off of the details that client put within the notes while booking. So then she communicates with the client back and forth, and all she tells me says, hey, they approved this specific overlay. It's ready on Canva. It's titled this, okay? So then on the day of the event, what I can do is I'll just go into Snapic, select the overlay, upload it. And since I already have, how can I say this? I already have video effects saved. All I have to do is just, it takes me literally 60 seconds to create that Snapic event, and like I said, I'm just inserting that overlay. So once you guys get to the level where you guys have someone doing your overlays, that's already a time saver. Another thing that I did, and this is automated, so I automated the contract, the booking process. Everything is done online. So that's one thing I really should have done earlier during this launch, but just like a lot of you guys know, life gets in the way, and then you seem to be gravitated towards certain things that you actually enjoy doing in the business, and then you do so much of that instead of taking care of the stuff that you really don't enjoy much. But there's always gonna be a cost, a flip side to things. So for example, those $150 or so that I'm spending a month on overlays is way better than me sitting down 15 to 20 minutes doing these overlays, like I said, going back and forth with the client. So by the way, if you guys want to reach out to Diana, she does the overlays for me. Let me know. In fact, I'll go ahead and put Diana's email in the description box below. She's great at making overlays. Like I said, she does all of my overlays. And yeah, you'll be dealing with someone that's kind of like your assistant, because like I said, she reaches out to the client and goes back and forth until the client is happy with the overlay. I use Canva. I have a paid version of Canva, which allows her to go in there and make any changes that she sees fit. So now what I'm gonna be doing next is I'm gonna be making some changes, but I really don't wanna bore you guys with these changes. So I'm gonna make the changes, then keep showing my lifestyle with you guys, what's going on when we're not at an event. So this will help you guys with your workflow. And I know a lot of you guys are not creators, which means you guys have more time than I do to do other things, but I'm happy to show you guys exactly what goes on behind the curtains. All right, so this was a pretty cool video. If you guys like this format of video, would just kind of get to know me more at a personal level as well, let me know in the comment box if you guys like these type of videos. If not, then I'll probably have to pivot, because then I'll feel like I'm not really providing much value, right? So it doesn't really make any sense to continue doing something that's not providing value to the world. So thank you guys so much for your subscription, and thank you for liking the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. And I'm sure you guys have questions. I'm gonna do my best to get to those questions. And if I don't, at least I get to read them in the comments. And then what I can do is I can build videos off of those questions, because I'm sure other people have questions just like you. All right, guys, take care and stay humble, and always continue to stay creative. That's not proper English, but that's okay. Peace out.